Happy 4th of July, a day later, and I just wanted to offer a little time and space this morning for us. I love sharing this time like post-workout with peeps. I get really inspired, and getting back from France and just really feeling so blissed and blessed to be back home. I'm back home in New York, back at my beautiful backdrop here at the apartment, and haven't even really fully come into being home yet. I'm still kind of in this transitional state, which I'm absolutely just loving every part of. So finished up my run, and I definitely felt called. I feel so much coming through me, and I know sometimes I get like overzealous. I'm so excited, and I just want to share, and I have so many things that I just feel would, offer such deep relief. My biggest calling is really just being that field of support for people to kind of rise above the stress that we all experience as human beings. And I truly, through my own experience, have seen that it is possible. So feeling called this morning. We're in this really cool energetic state with the summer solstice coming in, and the start of kind of these two eclipses happening. And as a physiologist, I anchor everything into the body, and there is an undeniable connection, this beautiful romantic dance between our physical bodies, the corporeal weight of our physical bodies, and the cosmos, right? Because we're all energy. Everything is energy. And so to deny the connection between our physiology, our somatic cells, and what happens with the planets and alignment, of course we're connected, right? All things are connected. And so how can we harness this really cool time? I mean, there's a lot of energetic movement this time of year, and particularly now with these two eclipses, this lunar and solar eclipse that we're kind of smushed in between right now. One was on the 2nd, the other one coming on the 16th. And this is a time of really anchoring in some action and unleashing creativity. And I find that a lot of folks, myself included, feel really a sense of insecurity, a deep sense of just not feeling safe. And that's from the stress, that's from the bubble we live in, where everything is just, we're all in this fear state, like there's never enough food, there's never enough money, there's never enough love, and we're all gonna be attacked, and we have to grab for ourselves, and it's danger everywhere, nobody can be trusted. And even just saying that, I can feel that tightness, and the physiology of that is just, it's constrictive, right? You feel constrictive and you want to hide. And when you're hiding, that's actually where you're really unsafe. But I can go off on a whole tangent with that. What I wanted to drop in here and talk about specifically is low back pain. I find it fascinating as a physiologist that we, the way that we have been trained to move is really through a lot of sedentary activity. So we're seated so very much, and what we've created is this ability to kind of lock in the thoracic spine. And the thoracic spine actually is a very mobile part of the body. But since we kind of live seated and we're in this very, one-dimensional space, this sagittal plane where everything is forwards and backwards, we start to create a lot of excess movement around our lumbar spine, which is where we're anchored and where we're stable. And it's where the 3 stabilizing chakras sit. Our root chakra, which is responsible for the energy that keeps us feeling stable, that all of our basic human needs are met, and it's the anchor place that keeps our soul grounded. And then our sacral chakra, which is our full sexual expression and our ability to create and procreate and express our true potential. And it is beautiful, and it is divine, it is unique, and it is sensual, and we suppress a lot of that because we think that we're supposed to act a certain way. And then above that, right around the belly button, is our solar plexus chakra. And this is where we take aligned action. From that creation energy, we put forth into the world our unique expression of that creative energy. And especially as women, it's like just a lot of hate for the belly and this area of the body, and we shame this area of the body. So we've got that shame happening in these 3 powerful chakras, and we've got this overly mobile lumbar spine to compensate for how we've kind of locked in our thoracic spine. So a lot of us walk around with tremendous low back pain for a multitude of reasons, and it's very distracting, and it's very jarring, and it creates a feeling of deep insecurity. If you don't feel supported by your own lower back, then how can you expect to feel supported in the world? So what I want to offer are a couple of key ways to just lock in more stability in your lumbar spine by creating more mobility in your thoracic spine, which is what it's intended for. And to get technical, your thoracic spine creates 20 to 30 degrees of rotation, right? The discs of your thoracic spine can create that kind of rotation. Your lumbar spine is offering about 2 to 3 degrees of rotation, but yet we whip that thing around and we overuse it, and it gets out of alignment, and that blocks energy, and that blocks our chakras. And again, those 3 chakras, so now you're jeopardizing your sense of security and stability. You're jeopardizing your sense of sensuality and procreation. You're jeopardizing your ability to take action on that creative force. And that's where your prosperity lies, your ability to put forth value into the world that only you can, that only you're here to do, that your soul is pulling you forth to do. So what can you do about it? Well, I'm going to attempt to perhaps set this up here, because I just want to give you an example of some thoracic spine movement activities that are so easy to do. So again, you've got so much rotation in your thoracic spine, but yet we spend our lives here, right? And we're at the desk, and what do? We swivel, and your hips are mobile. It's great, that's fine. But it's when we start to bend at the lower back to reach for something, or tip this way, and we're literally pulling and yanking around an area of the spine that's supposed to just keep us so solid, stable, and secure. And we can go into a lot of chakra alignment here. In fact, if you're interested, comment below. I have a few trainings, and again, a lot is coming through me that I offer on how to align the chakras from a physiological standpoint, exercises to support that. Another program, I think it's only like $47. It's like a half-hour training, and you get a full guide and how to align your cells for a ripped, rockin' body. I spent 2 weeks in France eating delectable meals, and I wasn't able, I had no access to a gym, and but I stayed active, and it was because I directed my cells to open up and receive nourishment and receive energy every day. I'm very, very in tune with speaking to my cells and nourishing them with just my own kind words and love and support, and that's how you can have the rocket body of health that you want. It starts with how your connection is with your own body, and how you speak to your body, and how you nourish your body. And anyway, that training is amazing. If you're interested in that, I'll throw a link up for it. It's on my website, and again, it's got a complete guide. It'll walk you through an amazing way to really understand how to communicate with your body in a way that creates the kind of exquisite health that you deserve. So thoracic spine, so creating movement here. We want to develop some neural connections, right? So super easy, hands behind the head, and just simple torso rotations. And what you want to do is you want to imagine that your pelvis, and I talk about this a lot, your pelvis is like a bowl, and it's filled with water, and you don't want to spill that water. right? So you're holding your pelvis solid. This is your anchor. You can imagine here your lumbar spine sits right through that. So you're anchoring yourself in your base, and this is your root chakra. It's your 6 basic needs. It's your stability. It's your anchor. It's your support system. So you want to keep the hips forward and hands behind the head, and you just want to allow the rib cage to slide across your body, and you can feel the abdominal wall wanting to work in coordination with that beautiful tandem. That's a simple thoracic spinal rotation. Next one you're going to do is to bend over, and this is more isolated, and you're going to put one hand behind your head and just simply keeping the neck completely in alignment, and you're just going to lift up, imagining that if I tied a rope to your rib cage on one side and literally was just lifting it up toward the ceiling or toward the sky, boom, just like that, keeping the hand behind the head for extra stability. And again, because your knees are bent and you're bent at your hips, it's creating no movement there and allowing you to isolate and really create more neural activity, more muscle activity, right? The muscles are now being sent these signals to move from here. So it's going to allow you to really open up the range of motion here. So the more range of motion you open up from your thoracic spine, the less you're going to have to compensate by using your lumbar spine. So that's just 2 simple exercises, because I just wanted to pop in here for like 3 minutes, but of course I can't help it, I get so excited. And then one last thing that I want to offer is simply a root chakra, kind of a micro visualization around your root chakra. And you can do this standing, you can do this seated, you can do this at your desk, it doesn't really matter. And just simply breathing in, and you can start kind of with some Qigong. I love to do Qigong just to get the energy flowing, so a nice Qigong breath movement is just coming up. And this is really just kind of for the nerves and just bringing that energy down through the viscera, through those vital organs, taking that energy and just pulling it through and just aligning with all the chakras, crown all the way down into the root, into the base, and then just holding the base there with the eyes closed, continuing to breathe in. And as you breathe in, each breath that you breathe, as you breathe in and inhale, you're inhaling abundance. You're inhaling all that is, and you're bringing that attention, that awareness into the root chakra, and you're just letting that area of your body feel fully supported. With that air, with that oxygen, you're taking in the nourishment into those red blood cells, and those red blood cells that are full of life and full of energy, traveling into the area around the root chakra, the area of the lumbar spine where you might be feeling pain, and you're just simply directing those cells to receive that nourishment so that they can heal and repair and regenerate and anchor themselves in the whole, holy human that you are. And as you exhale, you simply say, I am stable. Inhale, abundance, rich, replenished, nourished, red blood. Exhale, I am stable. And that's it. I hope that was super duper helpful. Again, I will post the link to my program that's called, I think it's called Align Yourselves for a Ripped Rockin' Body, something like that. So if you're interested in that, pop over my website. It's super cool. Like I said, super easy training. And if you are interested in doing more of this kind of work and really, calling in the prosperity that you know that you deserve from a physiological state and feeling that connection to the universe, and instead of fighting it and being in the stress, learning to work in the flow with it, instead of fighting your own body, which is your house, it's what you live in, which is silly when you think about why would you fight your own body. It's learning to, again, work in and be in flow with it. So life becomes effortless and easy, which is what it's supposed to be. Love you so much. Happy day after 4th of July. Hope you're feeling fantastic, and so much love.